Hey, this is Kaizoku Uncharted. We're a couple of siblings, so the vast sea of anime. If you think this is a career for you, set sail with us each week. I'm Jakia.
And Justin. And we're discussing Reincarnated as an Aristocrat, Season 2.
Yes.
I think there's more to the title, but that is the abbreviated version.
I mean, I think that's okay. I think people know what you're talking about.
Apparently there's other Aristocrat ones.
There are other Reincarnated Aristocrat shows. It's true. I wouldn't say they're as good as this one.
No. This is the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What are your thoughts?
That I love Pham? Pham?
Oh.
P-H-A-M?
Pham. P-H is a Pham.
Sounds like P silent. Pham.
Okay, anyways, Phm's great. I finally got what I wanted at the end with that, so I was like, yes. Alright,
Okay.
I enjoy it. As always, I enjoyed the show. It's a good show.
It's a great show.
I
like how they picked up.
Yeah, a lot has happened. I like how they picked it up. I mean, there's some questions that I had, but I was like, okay. But they're kind of like backstory, I guess. But,
Okay.
But I guess first and foremost, what is up with these people who are like so rude and disrespectful to our unit and what we're doing? Because I'm just like,
well,
if the king, well, I'm like, look, if he has invited us here to be at this meeting, why would you feel like it's appropriate for you to go ahead and question that authority and judgment?
Oh, you mean the king's retainers when they brought us in after the accolades or whatever?
Yeah, and they're just like, who is this person? Or like, why are we listening to these people?
Yeah, your stand-ins. Like,
I was like, what have y'all done lately? Nothing.
I didn't want to say anything.
Okay.
It's probably best that Lord Corrin.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably best that he wants to be independent because you got nobody retainers. They look like every run-of-the-mill people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we might be coming for your throne. So I understand why they were like, hey, we think that this kid is coming for the throne. And you know why you would think that? Because you two are nobodies. You know? And so if I got a king and I've been employed and I'm nobodies, and these guys, their retainers are making names for themselves, instead of you questioning him, how about y'all go out there and make names for yourselves?
I mean, that's a thought too. I mean, all I knew, I was just like, who are these people? We don't need all the sass. We don't need the rudeness. I don't need it. But, yeah.
I'm just going to say it right now.
Okay.
I can't stand his son.
He can immediately go in the book. He's trash.
Renge.
Renge. Okay, I guess it's like Renge and whatchamacallit. Yeah, but he's awful. He's like 20-something. He's just like, just does not know how the world works. At all. Yeah. Whatsoever.
Now, hold on. Did he go ahead and regain?
Absolutely not. I don't think so.
Really?
I think it was because at the end of the day, it was what Licia, thought was going to happen. Like, she knew that he wasn't going to be someone that would be able to follow the plan. So that just lets me know how much of a great strategist she is.
No, but what about when after we were successful, and how he had left the manor, and it
was still her. That was still what she wanted him to do.
Well, she was grooming him. She told him, listen,
go to all these dinner parties. Because at the end of the day, I'm just like, she was like, we just need someone who is going to be unapologetically like loud, because he was just like, oh no, of course we're doing this. Of course we're going to step away. And I'm just like, yeah. So I'm just like, we needed to have she was like, no, we need to have someone who's believable, who's gullible, who's naive.
So he didn't regain anything with you, even though he went ahead and asked for her to teach him to be a better strategist. She gave him the book. No. Yes, he went ahead and was at these parties and made it clear, and then that they weren't going to do that, and he was making it clear that the opposition wants you to believe that. And when they sat in front of the actual people, he shockingly lied or didn't tell the truth and about what their intentions are, and they were like, "Oh, that's good. We've been hearing actually about that in town anyway."
No, because I'm just like, at the end of the day, it's all his fault. I was like, it all stemmed from like he shouldn't have stowed away on the boat.
Sure.
And it was downhill from there. So I'm just like, no, we're in this entire situation because of him. Okay. So I'm just like, no, all you did was course correct because we always knew that we were going to leave here with what we needed to happen. And because of you and your negligence and just like naivete or whatever, what have you, you just ruined the plan. Sure, and so I'm like, no, I'm just like, that was his job and his responsibility was to get us back on track. That's the least that he could do. I would say like maybe later on in the series, if he comes back and he's able to like prove himself without needing all this like support to like handle things, then sure. But basically he was just like, they had to hold his hand through this process of what needed to happen. Because he shouldn't have been there in the first place. He should have never been there in the first place. So no. Forget him. He's awful. And shame on Corin for not disciplining his son in the first place anyway. He was just like, did you learn some stuff while you were there? He was like, yeah. I'm just like, no. He should have never came. You need to reprimand him because things could have went really bad. Like, people's lives are at stake. So, because you use this little, like, excursion as an opportunity to teach your son something, right. And, like, you should have let us know that that's what you wanted us to do anyway. If he had told us that, hey, I would like it if y'all would let him come with you so he can see what it means to be a diplomat in these kind of ways, that's a whole nother conversation. But that's not what happened. So it threw the whole thing off the rails. So, no.
Gotcha.
Forget him.
Now,
I was rooting for the other side at that time. I was like, I was rooting for the younger brother in this moment. I said, you know what? If it goes, it's no better for him. But then I'm just like, it's okay. So it's fine.
Now, a few standouts reminds me of Dynasty Warriors. Okay. Because first I have when we see the city, the new fort, we meet see this Selena, and I was just like, oh, I could tell. I was like, this Selena Vandal, she can probably do something.
Yes.
And I think the other one was Braham Joe.
Yes.
Yeah. So, to me,
I like Joe because he was the real one. He was like, I'm leaving this team. He's I'm joining the other team now.
Well, even before that,
later. I was like,
the Castro surrender. He jumps down and he's like, nah, you gotta fight me first. And they like, I already surrendered, and he knocked them out. Yeah. And then he started fighting in there. And hey, he's charismatic because the rest of the troops like, yeah, follow Joe. And then they start fighting again. And I was like...
Well, I love Joe before that because those older guys were just like, man, this kid's crazy. Let me pick up his weapon. And then he was just like, what are you doing? You're going to hurt yourself. And he couldn't even like lift it up. It was great.
Yeah, he's a strong guy.
He really is.
I'm like, yo, Joe being chained, will go ahead. He'll be under the tutelage of Ritz. And I'm just like, yo, that's a dangerous combo.
It is.
This, and even though one would think after we have but after we've succeeded,
yes,
and now Curran's in power,
yes,
I know what some people are like, okay, we're good, but I'm like, you can't just introduce Joe out of nowhere, and how young we are. We got married.
That was crazy. That was like my biggest issue throughout the entire season. Oh, because I was like, we're 12. What's happening? Sure. Where's his mom? Because I was like, the mom.
She didn't show up again till the end of the show.
Absolutely. That was like background story moment. I said, wait, are they not in the same house? I was like, what happened?
Hey, I'm okay. I didn't see them because
I was so confused.
I did partially forget we had those two siblings.
I didn't because like they didn't hype this up earlier in the first season of like how much potential they had. So I was like,
what are they gonna do?
What do you mean? What does that have to do with anything?
No, I'm saying, what are they going to do? All right, I don't know what they're going to do. So, yeah. I was like,
we do. Like, we have Roselle, who's our strategist, who's younger than ours. So I'm just like, yeah. So I was like, age here literally.
He's already doing stuff.
They could have also, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, they kind of set me up. Apparently.
Not doing stuff.
Apparently. Okay.
So, I was okay with them being at home.
But we didn't even know they were home until the end.
Good. I would of sight, out of mind.
Well, no, I'm just like, shouldn't his mom know he's getting married? It was crazy.
Listen,
it was
word
crazy.
got to her.
I suppose.
They set up a reception.
That was crazy. All I have to say, I was just like shocked. I was like, sure.
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so with this Selena Vandal, I was just like, okay, so is she joining us now? Cause like,
I don't think so.
She should.
I mean, granted, that would make sense for us to actually have a strong magic person who has defensive magic. That would make more sense. That would be helpful because we only have an offensive mage at the moment. Yeah,
and I was gonna say, quiet as kept. Those other 4 mages are getting mad airtime. They've been around since the beginning.
They really have, but I'm just like
they having like words to say.
They've survived.
So
and they've had input about like how long it's going to take for them to do something. So that's
I was
true.
just like, what are we talking about? So that's how I was just like, okay, cool. Maybe we'll add, in that regard. And then I was a big fan of, like, first of all, we were, and that's why I was like saying like Dynasty Warriors, because we were meeting tons of generals.
We were.
Tons of people. And it was like different stuff. Like we got that one dude who was like, he took all the head people's wives captive to make sure that they don't surrender. Extreme.
Oh, Gene? Yeah.
Yes, Gene.
But actually Gene throws down. I was like, he's a problem.
Right. I was going to say,
him and Dan.
Gene ain't just out here, sitting on the throne.
No, he was out there. Okay?
When we saw the backstory, Gene was out here killing folks at a young age.
He presented his father's head to the person, be like, hey.
Something Thomas couldn't do. Because we saw Thomas's backstory.
We did see Thomas.
And, Thomas and we kind of find out, which was messed up, that they dad got, I don't want to say taken advantage of, lied on, the house fell into ruin.
Yeah.
But, they were like, yo, we're going to pick up our, we're going to get together. We're going to figure this out. Like Muriel was a real one, even at a young age. She's like, yo, it's like, yo, at least they didn't kill us, right, Thomas? I was like, yo, she is 100% right. Like, y'all are kids.
Thomas is like...
They could have killed y'all.
And I was like, that's wild. It was wild.
Like, stop messing around. And Thomas was like, low down. He was just like, he was setting up... Yo, him and explosives, they always trying to blow stuff up. He was trying to, he sabotaged a whole castle. He's like, let him in.
And then,
and he kept saying it where people were confused. He was like, even if you lose, we win. And they were like, what do you mean? And he kept emphasizing that. And then eventually we found out. And I was just like.
He was, if anything, Thomas was consistent and he never lied. He said, even if you lose, we win. And he said that to multiple people.
To everyone.
To everybody.
I was like, yo, what are we talking about?
I mean, I don't know if he said that to Gene.
I didn't get that far.
No,
he knew he didn't have to go by the Gene. I was like, it makes sense to me.
But to everybody else, that was wild. Yeah, but like I said, we're meeting all these different generals and people. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Oh, that was his name, Lupa. I was like, cool. We met Lupa.
Lupa's pretty good.
And Lupa ended up getting taking command. Like the king went ahead and gave him some type of responsibility. Yeah. I was like, cool. I was like, Lupa putting in the work. I was like, all right, I could tell just from how he looked. I was like, okay, Lupa, he different. Right. And then, I know it won't happen, but when we met that mercenary group, Clement.
Oh, yeah.
What's it? Milthrow the third.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yo, this dude, they show his stats. Like, he's a problem.
No, he's definitely a problem. You
he
know
took
what?
down King. In one hit. I was like, yo.
No. I mean, actually, low-key but high-key, I feel like he's going to end up joining our ranks. I think he's going to join
it's
ours.
over.
No, ours. Like, just specifically ours.
Right.
Not Kuran.
No.
No, he's just like,
if he joins ours, then just give us the
just give us the kingdom. And I feel like he's open to it because he was like, you have Pham too, and he's just like, okay. He said, you got some people going on. You got some people.
He was at that party.
He was at that party.
Because I just thought, all right, these mercenaries just about to leave. And then I was also surprised. You know, we got a little bit of Pham's backstory.
Yeah.
And Pham finally was like, he found someone who he could feel like he could serve, where he wouldn't just be a devil child.
And it wasn't just him. It was him and his whole group.
Yo, at first, I thought it was going to be just Pham.
No, but they were like, we're here. Right. He was like, we have a job.
Yo, he was like
10
first of all,
down.
we learned out about his ability. No wonder he be doing this intel thing. He got that shadow magic.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay. But when Pham was like, ours was like, I hear from Curran, the reward's going to be pretty hefty this time. And when he was like, yeah, how about you make me a retainer? I was just like, okay.
I was hollering.
Yes.
I said it's about time. This is what I wanted since we first met him. I was like, it made sense. I was like, we need these type of people in our group. Absolutely.
Muriel didn't die, so like we still got her.
We did.
I was like, yo, this is what I needed. Mm-hmm. I was like, so yeah, if we ever get Clement, in turn, apparently. Because the mercenary group's name is the Maitro Company. I'm probably butchering his last name, but it's the family's company. So if we get Clement,
that's everybody.
Ideally, we should also get all of them too. So I
think so.
But yeah, I was just like, I didn't understand what King or Lord Coram was doing. He should just always be hiring that mercenary group
all the time.
So I'm confused.
The time. I mean, well...
Why was this war already over?
Look,
just send him over.
Look, he needs to hire them before he can't anymore because he got like 2 more times before we get Clement in our group, and then...
Oh, wow. You giving them a time frame.
I mean, like 2 more like battles for real.
Oh, okay. So you definitely... There got to be a season 3.
There's got to be a season 3 because right now we're at winter time. We're at winter because the whole point was like, hey, we need to secure these places before winter strikes.
Sure. Yeah, well, it didn't even matter because they already gave up.
I don't think we gave up though. I don't think the other side gave up.
Oh, I immediately took that as
no. Like from the way he was brooding at the very end, I was like, "They're
not
done." He's not done.
Literally, they quote unquote gave up because Corin literally gave out territories.
No, you can still give out territories and the war not be done. Because the main point, because remember,
they were on the throne that the brother was sitting at and occupying.
Justin, I'm telling you, it's not done. It's not done. Yes, we defeated Thomas. But we did not. We're not done.
I'm telling you,
Justin, we're not done. It's mark my words, we're not done.
Okay, got it.
I'm telling you, it's because look, I'll tell you why we're not done. Because we just met the inventor kid.
Okay. Yes.
So like
he's also should be in the group.
He's gonna be in the group.
Oh, okay.
He's totally gonna be in the group too. It's just gonna be a minute. But I'm just like, no, there's just like too many points and moments. I'm just like, this is just like the halfway point.
Hear me out.
All right, hear me out. Sorry.
Can we not be done with this? And cause remember,
the war is not done.
Cause the whole point of us getting the aid was we want to be independent.
Yes.
I think we have succeeded in one, and he has the throne back, but stuff can still get ready to happen. Because Corin gave his territory over to the dude we always with.
He's great.
Cormir.
He's great.
And then he gave Coromir's territory, because remember, initially our land is like underneath Coromir's or whatever. Yes. So now we got to take care of not only our own land, but all of that land. That's true. Even Coromir was like, there's no one I'd rather who I would trust my land with more than you, ours.
Right.
Can you make it better? And then they were showing like the same thing ours was used to seeing, like little kids forced to be homeless, enslaving, and stuff like that. And he's like, yes, I'm going to change this all around. So to me, he gave out that land because this is done, but now the next thing going to happen. But you saying it ain't done.
Because think about it. Because going back to the strategy meeting, right?
Okay,
when we had the board, when we were going through the map and stuff like that, about what the plan was.
You talking about winter? Go ahead.
No, I'm not even talking about winter.
Okay.
I'm not even talking about winter, but just like how we were just, like how we went through so many different places of like, hey, we have to try to make a deal with these people to try to get an alliance so that they will come help us to do this thing. But in order for us to even like secure the next step in that plan, we have to go, going back to those places where Gene and his territory was. Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I don't think we're finished.
Okay, got it.
I
think we took down everything by winter because that was the time. That was the hard timeline.
That was the hard
because a lot of them were like, we only got to last till winter.
Because we only got supplies. Because the supplies aren't there.
And then all I'm saying is, because I don't trust that dude we made the deal with. Remember, that's a corrupt establishment, and he wields the most power.
That's what I'm
so I think
about.
we're gonna have an issue with him again.
Yes.
I think the neighboring states are like, no, we not following you, or they might not give up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So that's what I mean.
But I'm saying the brother is done.
No, the brother's not done because all of it is tied back to him.
Man, we took Thomas too. He in jail, and I think the brother probably in jail too.
He not. Because he had other people. Justin, come on.
Oh, you know what?
Because it wasn't just...
I got to go back and see what the name of... Who was the left-hand man? Because he had two people.
That's what I'm talking about. Because, Thomas was handling that stuff.
Sure.
And that's what I mean. And so it was like, they already knew that Thomas was handling, this, and this.
Right.
And then, so that's why I was just like, the way he was brooding about all the stuff, I was like, he's not worried. He's just like, we're not done. And two, they didn't kill Thomas.
They did not.
They didn't kill Gene. They didn't kill Dan.
They did not.
Okay? Because I promise you, even though Gene's a bad man, he is not coming on to our side anytime soon.
Hey, I don't know. Listen, Corin has some availability because guess what? His right and left hand man are trash. So if Corin is smart, he should be like, yo, let me get Gene and Dan. Because he done said it himself. I'm always looking for talented officers. He was like, Thomas, come join my ranks. He was like, even though I've sworn loyalty to your family, I sworn loyalty to your brother. He's always, and that's what I like about Corin. He's always looking for talented people.
Yeah.
So if he's smart, he needs to go ahead, ditch those two folks who look like background characters.
He needs to ditch like 10 people.
Well, he's got don't forget,
half of those people in that room.
Some of the older people that we put an impression on, they had showed up. Like that one older guy was like,
Paul,
he was like, that's great. Not my seal. He had showed up when they was giving out territories. Yeah. Like he should employ him as your right hand. This kingdom is gonna falter unless he get a real right and left hand man. That's why his brother got some people.
100%.
But no, I love the show.
It's a good show, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like because we still have we still have the brother's left hand person.
Listen, I'm
just like, we not.
I know there's a season 3.
Well, yes.
I just think we are done with the internal strife of the kingdom.
We're not done. It's not done.
Because I know it ain't over because Pham is now a retainer. And you cannot introduce Clement to me and not either. Now, here's the biggest
That's
concern.
what I'm saying.
Well, don't forget.
Come on, we're not done.
Don't forget. Wait, what if somebody hired the trading mercenary company to come after us? Because Rich might have to fight that boy Clement.
Clement doesn't want that smoke. He already knows what's on the other side.
Hey, I don't know.
He knows there's Pham. He knows that there's Charlotte. He knows that there's Ritz. He knows that there's Actually, does she really throw down? Does Muriel really throw down? Truly.
She could.
If
she wanted to.
Yeah. We got
She's
Joe.
all around. I know. Listen.
Joe. I'm just like, he doesn't want that smoke.
I could have sworn.
I don't think he does.
Clement said something different.
We got Lupa, because Lupa's with us now. You can say whatever you want, but Lupa's with us.
I don't think Lupa's with us.
I think Lupa's
He was given the territory.
Lupa's like...
And he got a kid coming. He's not with our group.
No, I'm saying Lupa's like ours if you need anything. That's
he
what I'm
is
talking about.
underneath Corin's jurisdiction.
I'm just saying if Clement came, Lupa's there.
First of all,
That's
I
I'm
could have
saying.
sworn that they crossed swords, Ritz and Clement, like momentarily when he disrespected ours or something.
Yes.
And ours saw his stats or something. Listen, it would clearly have to be, and I love Ritz on everything.
Yeah, Ritz is great.
It would have to be Ritz and Joe versus Clement. Like, Clement's a problem.
No, he is a problem. His stats are,
It
like,
would be. It would have to be a 2v1 fight.
He has at least 10 on Ritz.
It would have to be a 2-on-1 fight.
That's fine.
Like, I was all down for like that Ritz versus Dan fight. I was like, let's get it.
That was gonna be great.
Dan was not afraid. He was like, no, I want him.
Dan and Gene were both not afraid. Okay.
Gene ain't no joke.
That's a bad man. Okay. I was just like, this is crazy. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see who's right when season 3 comes around. Because season 3 is definitely coming. And the takeaways
from all of this is, we can't stand the son.
Yeah.
Renge or whatever.
Maybe Selena's dad would be Kuran's. Maybe he'll be a contender for right or left hand. From the way that he cares about the people. Sure.
I mean, better. Almost anything's better.
But yeah, so that's what we got. So that's this week's episode. Yeah, we'll find out who's right. We'll see. Well, let us know what y'all think. Do y'all think the war is over, or not? All right.